Hi, welcome to the latest edition of Ragic Office Hour, and I'll be here answering your question about Ragic and Ragic database design. Let's get started. Okay, first question. Notifications when records are updated. So there is an easy way to set those settings for ourselves in personal settings, but is there a way as an administrator to set the notifications for other company members so they don't need to deal with it each by themselves if I want them to be notified? I saw options with approval flow and an option with the field type reviewer, but couldn't find any setting for updates, only for new records. Okay, on our last office hour, we mentioned that you can configure. Okay, yeah, let me add myself to this first, so we can see the. Okay, let me try another. So on some accounts, you can do a notification. You can go to notification settings here, so that you could configure how you would like to be notified on each sheet updates, or when new records are created, or when they are updated. And is there a way for administrators to set this up for other users? Let's take a look. If you go to notifications, and yeah, you could do the notification settings here. So you could click on each individual users under the account settings notifications, and you can click on the settings for each user to enable any type of notification for individual users like this. Okay, so let me give you a screenshot here. So each user can do the notification settings for themselves in the personal settings, but in the account setting, administrators can also configure notification settings, for each individual users in this settings link here. All right, that's okay. There's a screenshot. You account system administrators can edit user notification settings in the account notification setting above for each individual users. As in the above screenshot. Okay. However, if you want to configure the notification setting for all users at once, no, right now there's no setting for that, because each individual users can configure their notification settings differently. So right now there's no settings to apply notification settings for all users, but you can. But as a system administrator, you will be able to go to the notification settings configuration in the account settings to change the notification settings for each users individually. All right, next question. Another question regarding historic exchange rate. How can I select the exchange rate for a specific date? Right now, this is not supported for our exchange rate field. Okay, but let's look at the question detail first. I see that you have a field type that can fetch latest exchange rates. Is it possible to add a date to this field so that when choosing exchange rate and date, it will fetch the exchange rate for a specific date? Otherwise, can you suggest a solution for this issue? For example, let's say I have an invoice for $1,000 USD dated January 1st, 2023. Now, I have actually paid for it on January 10th, 2023. I would like it to have a calculated field on the same sheet to show this amount in euro for the invoice date, which is January 10th, 2023. Okay, we have heard about this request for a while, and yeah, like I said, right now we don't support to for to fetch a exchange rate for a specific date, but this should be supported in the future because we have heard about this requirement quite a few times, and we should be able to add this kind of support in the future. But right now, there's no good solutions to fetch this automatically. But I do remember on our last Ragic webinar, there is a way if you can maintain the exchange rate manually. There is a way for you to do this kind of do this kind of specific date exchange rate fetch. Let me take a look at our past questions and answers. I think I've done the demo there. Yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah, you mentioned the 160, 164. So basically, yeah, you'll need to do that manually, like on 164, question 164. But if you need the exchange rate automatically through our exchange rate field, right now we don't have a support for specifying which field is specifying the date of the exchange rate yet. Okay, right now specify the date for the exchange rate field is not supported yet, but we will be adding the support in the near future. For now, it will need to be exchanged for specific dates. Will need to be maintained manual, like demo, like the demo on this question. I think it's you can find the demo on how I did that on the webinar recording for this question. All right, next question. Getting location automatically. Is there a way to get the geographical location of where the entry was created via GPS location? This will allow users to clock in entries when they are working outside of the office and cannot be approved that they're unless they're in the right locations. So they won't be clocking in at a bar, but they should be in client's workspace. Okay, yeah. As a matter of fact, I do know that we are working on this feature right now. Our developers are working on this right now, so this will be supported in the near future. And yeah, this is kind of a popular request, and we will be adding the support for this on the web first, and then on the mobile apps. So yeah, so stay tuned and for our pop-up announcements, and we will be announcing, the added support for this feature pretty soon. We're currently working on the support for automatically fetching GPS data to enter a location for address fields on the browser and on browser first and then on the mobile app. Please it will be announced on the pop announce when ready. Okay, and yeah, and also one interesting thing is that when you're using that, even when this is ready, and you must understand that GPS locations on browsers or apps, they can be faked. So if the person really wants to, cheat the system, it is still possible to create a fake GPS data so that no, I'm in Antarctica when I'm doing this. It's possible for them to fake GPS data on either on desktop or on a mobile app. So it is still possible. There's no way for the system to detect that if the GPS data is fake. So please just keep that in mind. All right, so that's it for all the questions for the office hour this week, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to use the Ragic Office Hour webinar question sheet to ask your questions here, and I will be talking to you guys in 2 weeks. All right, thank you for joining in.